On the journey to success, you and I are blessed with so many resources and tips and videos on how to get there and how to guide us there. But at the same time, it can be really confusing when one person says to isolate yourself, another person says your network is your net worth, one group of people says big goals and set long-term goals, another group of people says small short-term goals. You get what I mean? It can be really confusing. So what are some of those topics of success that have lots of differing opinions, and how can we balance the two and create the best pathway to success for ourselves? Let's start with one: isolation versus networking. One side of the aisle says that you should cut off distractions and focus solely on yourself, lock yourself away, go through a period of solace, and do that to improve your skills, learn a new skill, improve an existing skill, and work on your craft to achieve greatness. Networking advocates for connections and relationships and says that they're essential for opportunities, collaboration, and rising to the top. So, again, if you listen to success and motivation and mindset stuff and things of that nature, you've probably heard that go for a period of time without friends, go for a period of time in isolation, or get yourself out there as much as possible. Be in the city because your network is your net worth. And here's the thing, both are true. I've talked about it in a video in the past about how Alex Ramosi has talked about how there's a period in his life where he was too different from the friends that he had, but not successful enough to be friends with the people he wanted to be friends with. And I think that's a good thing to remember. You're not successful enough to be friends with the people you strongly want to network with, but you should still get out there. You should go to places like Toastmasters or public speaking things or things in your area, meetup.com, things of that nature, and see what's out there, and networking opportunities and things like that. So that's the yin and yang. That's the balance of things that you should have. The other side of that is be okay if there's days that you go without seeing people, if there's days that you go without going out. If you're just solely locked in on finishing a project or completing a task that you happen to go a day or several days or a week without that, then you should be okay with that too. But I will say, what I'd recommend is that do not neglect attempting to go find networking opportunities in your area or even online. So the next thing is long-term vision versus small step. The long-term vision people advocate that you should create massive, ambitious goals that inspire action. Write out, you have a 5-year vision board, and you should absolutely work at that every single day. The small step advocators say that you should focus on incremental progress and systems, claiming that lofty goals can paralyze or overwhelm you. Again, both sides are true. Both sides are correct. You should absolutely be cognizant of what you want in 5 years, in 10 years, but even long-term can be for you 2 years. I think 24 months is a long time. Wouldn't you agree? Comment below if you agree that 24 months is a long time. It is. But also, do not neglect the small steps that get you to where you want to be in 24 months, or that even winning the day. Like right now, I've just made a bunch of videos this day. It's November. This video is probably going to come out sometime in December, but I'm winning the day right now by creating a bunch of these videos for you guys. So the balance of the two is, as I said, be cognizant of what you want down the line. Be aware of what that is, but also work backwards from that. The working backwards from that is how the big goal is going to be tied into the smaller step goals. So create habit systems, but create habit-based goals, as I've talked about in the video that you can check out below the subscribe button after the video is done. About working backwards from those big goals and creating habits that get you there. Habits are how you win the day, and winning the day is going to give you the gratification that you need to keep going. That even though you may not see progress related to the overall mountain you want to climb, at least you're fulfilling yourself and climbing that mountain little by little, a few feet here, a few feet there, a few meters here, and that's how you balance the two. The next aisle that has many people divided or has many different opinions on both sides is specialization versus diversification. The people who are advocates for being specialists say and recommend that you should master one skill or niche and absolutely dominate in that field, aka create a blue ocean, right? Where there's no competition, just dominate and create a new space, or dominate an existing space by just having such a differentiable skill that everyone wants you. Diversifiers say building multiple skills, streams of income, or industries provides resilience and long-term stability. It's very interesting, isn't it? Jack of all trades, master of none, or do you just dominate in one area? I think there's truth to both, and I honestly think just choose. I don't think this is everything can be balanced in life, but I think this is, instead of it being about balance, I think this is one where you should just try something. Throw something at the wall and see if it sticks. You throw being a specialist at the wall, you can be an absolute specialist at growing personal brands on social media, taking people from dozens of followers on Instagram to hundreds of thousands and nearly millions of followers on Instagram. You can be a specialist in helping people learn how to learning how to sell and make offers. By the way, if you want to learn about that from a guy named Myron Golden, who I talk glowingly about in a lot of videos, including my first one, click the link in the description and check out his Make More Offers challenge and see how you can scale your offers and learn the offer science and learn the science behind selling and improve your offers. But you can check that out in the link in the description. If you want to diversify, then try a bunch of different investments, and if you have a wide range of capital already to use, then throw some real estate investments at the wall. Start that, and start ETFs as well. Start stocks, just a simple stock with a dividends. Start options trading. Matter of fact, even within things that could be considered specialization, like trading, there's a lot of different areas that you can go. So this one, the specialization versus diversification, just throw something at the wall and see if it sticks, and don't haphazardly go at it. Go full hard at it, and at least you'll know specialization may or may not be for you, and diversification may or may not be for you. The fourth one is spending on growth versus saving and frugality. Growth investors encourage reinvesting heavily in yourself, your business, or your coaching to scale quickly, and frugality advocates say that you should minimize expenses and build wealth through disciplined savings and compound interest. And I think this is another one where it's more go for something and see what sticks rather than just balance. So for a growth investor who is giving you advice, they will probably tell you, like, spend a bunch on courses, spend a bunch on education. Don't just go to YouTube University for free, invest in coaching and get accelerated. Frugality would probably say build those skills yourself and understand what it takes to build up whatever you're working towards building up, because what you inspect, people respect. So I actually do think this is one where you should balance, absolutely, because I think you should accelerate, and I think coaching definitely helps accelerate you toward where you want to be. And I think the growth investors' advice would absolutely be applicable. Reinvest heavily in yourself, especially if you got capital to use. You got some thousands or tens of thousands of dollars that are not being put into the S&P or something, that are just sitting there. Make it work so that, you put something in and then you gotta get something out. You're gonna get something out. So obviously this implies that you've studied the coach that you're about to invest in. But yeah, accelerate yourself. But at the same time, I would say that the frugality advocator would say that you should focus on not blowing your money, not going clubbing, not, spending beyond your means, not living beyond your means is the simplest way to say it. So I think he's right in that aspect. Compound interest, that is definitely a thing that is real, because I think it's also short-term, long-term, right? I think the growth-minded investor is for the short-term and saying, hey, get up off the ground and at least do something that gives you inertia towards success. And the frugality advocator, I think, is definitely someone who's more long-term minded. Talking about the disciplined saving or the compound interest, or just putting something in an investment or a high-yield savings account. So this one's more of a balanced thing, and I think you can absolutely be someone who spends on growth and is saving and frugal and an investing-minded person at the same time. By the way, if you're enjoying this video, be sure to like it and share it with someone for whom you think it will be helpful, and be sure to subscribe to my channel as well. But there are so many of these topics that have so many differing opinions on multiple sides of the aisle, whether it's, as I just went through, networking versus isolation, or long-term vision versus small goals each and every day. The world is gray. It's not black and it's not white. Sometimes, a lot of times actually, you got to mix in gray with it. So be encouraged when you see all this advice. Don't be discouraged. I know it's very easy to get discouraged with analysis paralysis, which is actually a video of mine you should check out here in a bit, below the subscribe button. But you can get caught up in analysis paralysis because, oh my goodness, this person's pulling me this way. Oh my goodness, this person's pulling me that way. What do I do? It can be very easy to get caught up in that, but I would say be thankful that we have access to all this information at this time that we live in, because we are so very blessed to be living in this time, this information age, where information is more available now than it has been ever, and is so powerful that we can use so many tools that we just have, and we don't even have to get anything extra and just put on a camera and talk, or just trade the stock market, or whatever it is. So don't be discouraged when you see all this information. Again, some of these things, there are multiple different people who are very successful. Maybe Alex Hormozi may say this, and a guy like Iman Gadzhi may say another thing. They're both super successful. So either you try something, you don't haphazardly do it, you say, you know what, I found out and that's for me, or you know what, I found out and that is for me, or you try a balance of the both, because in both balance or just trying something, there's always value in just starting. So if you don't leave with anything else from this video, just start. I believe in you.